All right, guys, here we are to talk about The Good Place, Season 1, Episode 6. And this episode was all right.
This episode was all right.
Yeah. I liked her distracting Michael. And,
oh, God, yes.
Getting him out of the thing. And
so,
his thing with paper clips, I don't know why, but that made me laugh so hard.
So, honestly, it makes him laugh, too. When he dumps them all on her head, he fucking corpses. He fucking breaks and just starts laughing. Because he thinks it's
very
so fucking funny. Because her reaction, she's just like, oh, God. And this whole thing. And he laughs. And it's not Michael laughing, it's Ted Danson laughing. And that made me laugh. I was like, hell yeah.
It's so goofy, but it's so funny.
Aren't they just the best? And she's like, yeah, no, they're great.
It's so good. They're
wonderful.
Fucking paper clips, you sick animal.
You sick. Yo, sick fuck.
But yeah, so she's his assistant. She's helping him by... she has to figure out a way to help him, but also not reveal herself. So her idea is to help him by giving him a break. And that kind of solves his issue because it snaps him into some clarity.
Well, so, like, unfortunately, it kind of solves his, like, quote-unquote problem, his, like, block or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really like the idea that she's taking Chidi's thing and she's trying to follow it and she's looking for, like, a loophole where, like, ethically she can, like, satisfy both things. That's, like, a fascinating,
It almost seems... that if you don't think you're doing bad, you're not doing bad in this world.
Interesting. Sure.
Because she is still distracting him from his mission.
Yes.
So, like, she is doing bad, but she doesn't think she's doing bad.
Well, and she's trying to follow, like, the rules.
Yes.
And that's the angle that she's kind of taking it from, as opposed to, like, well, this is the right thing to do, and I just know it's the right thing to do. Because she has no, like, moral compass whatsoever. So she's kind of like,
well, she's starting to get one.
She's developing one, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the early stages where even like a kid would do this. Well, I'm not technically lying. I just didn't tell them, even though I should have told them, and it was the right thing to like. Right? It's just, I'm like just following the rules. I'm faking it until I make it, hopefully, or something like that.
Yeah.
But this is huge growth for her because she would have just been like, okay, yes, this will make it seem like that, but not. But like she seemed legitimately concerned, and even had like a moment of like,
as she should be. It is her fucking soul.
Well,
to spend in hell. She should be. She should be the best person ever was.
Sure.
But not everyone, even in real life, with minor consequences that they know of, do things correctly. So I understand a person just not being able to do the right thing. Idiots.
We get a flashback of her doing something very wrong, though, with the fucking dog.
Oh, my God, that dog got so obese.
I didn't know what was going to happen to the dog. I feel like in, like, a different show, the dog dies or whatever. But the dog being impossibly fat is maybe, like, funnier and better or something like that.
So the dog's stomach won't ever shrink again.
But her thing of, like, do not eat this unless it is an emergency. I make a great mom or something like that. And just, like, because, like, we know how dogs are. I've never owned a dog, but, like, the whole thing is you can leave food out like ahead of time for a cat, but if you leave all the food out for a dog, it'll eat it all in the first day, which is how I am. So I can relate to that dog. But just her like putting out multiple things, trying to reason with the animal, and then being like, wait, no, so there's more here. Let me show you this other food, and just ratcheting it up and making it worse and worse.
I can't be 100% sure, but it looked like it had one of those self-filling water bowls that she also filled with food, like it had no water.
Just ate all the food.
Yeah.
Ugh. So when they dropped the thing about him needing like kidney medicine, I'm like, oh God, she kills this dog. Oh no, or whatever.
Fortunately, it was on the last day.
Exactly. So she goes to a Rihanna concert with her seemingly similarly dirtbag friend.
The things that I don't get is that she's a terrible person. I think we can all establish that is clear. She's a bad person. She should have bad person friends, which I guess her friend is. Yes. But like, who's asking her to watch these really fancy houses, and who's taking her who's buying concert tickets for her? Like, it seems like a thing where like her friends should be dirtbag friends that she would actually have, and all the people that have like money and power and things that would actually be dangerous to have her involved with wouldn't be asking her for things.
I think logically yes, but in the real world no, because people are just horrible.
I guess.
Like, I don't know why you would ever trust her with like that or whatever. Maybe there's backstory that we can fill in for ourselves where they were desperate or they knew each other for some reason or whatever. And her friend probably just needs someone else to drink with her and like whatever.
No,
right?
probably.
Some
that's
bullshit,
the more
right?
plausible thing,
Yeah,
but I'm like,
just
how
the
does she
thing.
even have money for tickets? Like, I feel like Kristen Bell's character would not have anything ever because she just seems like a dirtbag.
She got very lucky through life and just like stumbled her way through getting what she wants out of life and then died and was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Died young.
Yeah, right?
How did she die?
I was just thinking that. Wait a minute.
I don't think they ever said.
No. Oh, no, he says, oh, God.
Oh, no, it's something embarrassing.
He explains
It's a multi-level
and he's like,
death.
and then this happens,
Yeah.
and then that, would you like to see it? And she's like, no.
No, they did say. Fine. It was in the first episode.
They did say, but I forgot because it has not been relevant.
It was like, and then a stampeding elephant ran over you, and they tried to resuscitate you, but they used poop, or like it was like something horrible.
I think that's it.
That was it. I think
you nailed it. It's perfect. Her line in the beginning, because we're going to be far, away from it soon, where she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to help him and also not help him," just like when I went, just like when I posed as my cousin's hot prom date, helping him, and then later, according to his therapist, not helping him. Yeah. I was like, "Okay, you're funny." Every now and then, because like for like long stretches, I'm like, "I hate you, you're not funny," and then every now and then, I'm like, "Okay, you're funny. That's funny. You're funny. Yeah. It's okay, man."
Yeah, she is serviceable. She is passable in this role. I think she is fine. In general, like I've had the same thoughts, but I think I eventually came down to like, no, I think she might be perfect for this role.
No, she's great. She's fine. Sometimes, something about her though. I think I just don't like her. I don't like her face or something dumb. But no, it's all working out. Johnny with the magic 8-ball.
Yes.
We're gonna start talking about the cringy stuff, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's get right into that.
How do you feel about that?
One of those lines worked, the other one did not, and it was dumb.
Right, and then Pitbull changed the game, and like we have to believe that.
Was it Pitbull or Duplo?
I thought he said Pitbull.
I thought it was Duplo.
That Diplo, because that's too up there. I think he said Pitbull, and that's why it's dumb. And we have to believe that Tahani interprets this as some sort of deep thing that's not that or whatever, right? And like, is that the running joke?
I don't even know because she's an intelligent person, and like it's not like.
And she should have heard of Pitbull.
I don't even.
Her sister
know.
was compared to Banksy.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with Pitbull. But the point is, she knows about pop culture. She knows about memes and life and stuff.
You would think she was, a normal girl of a normal time period. It wasn't like she's a Renaissance woman.
Yeah, she didn't die in like the 1200s. So whatever, they go to get massages. Chidi has to insert himself. He's like shouting. It's this whole stupid
nice
thing.
And awkward.
It's nice and awkward, but like I have a thing. Ever since the like sitcoms of old, I just emotionally react very negatively to those like situations. I think people love them and laugh at them or something like that.
I didn't even crack a smile during this scene.
Sure, but like I'm like actively like it like hurts me or something, right? Like whenever it's like there'd be scenes where like a character would get cloned or they'd make like a robot version of that character and then the character would have to go around and like insult everyone and then like the real character would be like 10 minutes behind him and they'd be like, "Hey man,
explain it
what are you doing back here? Shut up." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "We hate you now." It's like, "What's going on?" I remember being like, "Oh my god, fix the situation. You can and like feeling that whole thing. So whenever a sitcom or like show constructs some weird loose thing where I'm like, just do this, it keeps like bothering me or whatever.
No,
social
any
anxiety
rational
or something like
lady
that.
Or any person for that matter, while someone horning at them, be like, "This is our time. Go away."
Right. Like,
and I understand you're in heaven, but you're already there. You're probably not getting kicked out. Like,
I can be as rude to you as I want, or whatever.
And it's not even rude. You can just very nicely say, "Oh, I wanted this to be us on our alone time." Period.
She says that, and he's like, "No," or something like that. It's crazy.
She did not handle it very well.
Weird. But again, like these are the things that are asked of us as audience members. But this is like the weakest part for me.
Yeah, there were no funny really.
Until they saved it.
How did they save it?
Tahani and Chidi are fucking soulmates. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
They know about the same stupid, artists and all that shit. Oh my god, it's great.
Do you think he painted that painting or had Janet do it?
I don't know. And
that would be interesting.
Because he said, "I used to paint as a boy, and like Degas was one of my inspirations." And I'm like, "Oh man, this is perfect. Yeah. This is perfect." And I'm like, "Well, Jianyu and Eleanor can't be soulmates." Although they are both like the two shitty people that don't belong here. That's pretty good.
But he's an idiot.
He's the worst. Yes, and she even thinks he's an idiot. So imagine how much of an idiot he actually is. I'm continuing not to like Jianyu or whatever, just because of how they're playing it. And I get that it's for comedy, but it's impossibly bad. Yeah. It's so cringy.
He could not have survived this long. Based on how dumb he is.
He should have died as an infant during his life, apparently. I don't see how he made it this far at all. Because then the Impressionist painting was just a painting of Frank Caliendo, which, again, on paper, that's funny or whatever. But something about how bad it was made it feel so bad to me or something like that.
Yeah.
I could tell when he was like, I got it, and he's like, I feel like I should say more or whatever. That whole thing, I'm like, oh no, what is he gonna do? Because he doesn't know what that means. I guess it's gonna be something dumb.
There was a, what did he say? Say no more. I feel like I should say more. Is that what he says?
I feel like I should say more. Yeah, and he's like.
So when that scene popped up, it reminded me recently on Reddit there was a thing where it was a school like Christmas pageant, and it's a bunch of kids dressed up like elves, and one kid dressed up like Elvis because I'm sure he audibly read to his mother what he had to be dressed up as.
No.
And instead of saying elves,
that's a joke.
The kids are all going to be elves, and he was Elvis.
No.
That was a thing.
Really?
Yeah, there's a picture on Reddit.
So there's a certain level of
one grumpy looking kid dressed up like Elvis, and the rest of them are elves.
There's a certain level. Well, so like, what did they say happened? That that what you just said, or was there any?
It was a different parent who, it just said like this. They didn't say like if the parents thought it said Elvis or if the kid just said it back to him, but it was an interpretation of it.
I'm thinking typo on like the letter home said Elvis instead of elves.
I picture literally just a child walked up and said like, "Mom, I need an Elvis costume." Because the kid read Elvis as Elvis.
So that's like a perfect example of utilitarianism. No, like of this whole thing, right? Because it's not just being dumb. Because I'm dumb.
It's contextually dumb as well.
And like not stopping to think like, wait a minute. If it's the thing that my dumb brain thinks it is, that would be bad. That wouldn't make sense. I'd be the only one on stage dressed as Elvis, and it's Christmas, so why would you dress as Elvis for Christmas? Maybe I should double check this, right? It's that little thing. It's when someone's just like, hey, you said do this, you said order 400 of those things, and so I just ordered them. And then you're like, it's obviously some sort of typo. It was, it was supposed to be 40 things. We've never ordered more than 38 in like the history of this place being open, and you ordered for fucking 400 of them. It said 400. I know, but that's crazy. What's wrong with you? Like that sort of thing, right? Where there's no checking to see if I'm wrong. There's no thinking that I could be wrong.
This man is so dumb, there would be no second thought. You'd be like, impressionist. I know what an impressionist is.
That's the point, is like the confidence in the lack of dumbness. And like, dumbness on its own makes perfect sense, but you have objective proof that you're always getting everything wrong. So, like, you're not even smart enough to catch on to the fact that you're constantly getting everything wrong to then learn. That's the only thing you have to be smart enough to learn, is that, ooh, I think it's this, I'm probably wrong. Is he programming the robot with spaghetti? Like, you just have to have a thing where you go, like, that doesn't make sense. Let's dial this back and maybe ask someone else and figure out what's going on, right? It's infuriating.
But Johnny doesn't have that ability.
Which is supposed to be hilarious, and I find it just frustrating.
Yeah, I just don't like the character.
Yeah,
from very early on, I've been like,
it's not fun to me. It reminds me of something in a movie I didn't see, which is in the new Ghostbusters. Supposedly, Chris Hemsworth is so dumb that there's a loud noise, and he like covers his eyes or something like that. Some weird where it's like that's hilarious because of how dumb he is, and I'm like, I don't know. I think you should have put a joke there instead of that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
No.
The rest of the episode is with Michael and Eleanor primarily. We talked
we got
about
more
this.
Michael than usual, and that was nice.
A lot more Michael than usual, but it ends with Michael maybe leaving, and he better not.
No.
He better not.
I would wager either she convinces him with normal backhandedry that she has, or she confesses.
Okay. Confessing would be far out of left field for me this early, but I
think
could
it would
see
be interesting.
Yeah. So we learned some stuff, which makes that even plausible, right?
Uh-huh.
Is Michael's under the gun. Like, we've already seen him kind of whatever, but in this he's like raving. He's grown up like 5 o'clock shadowy mustache now. He's like loosened his stuff. He's all like, oh, I gotta figure this out, whatever. He's going crazy. And he like confides in Eleanor that he's under the gun. This is all an experiment. It's not supposed to usually be like this, but he believed in something, and he like got clearance from them to go make his own sector of heaven, and then actually stay there with everyone in a human form, right? And he was like, it's gonna work. And it's going so poorly, and he's like, no, and he's like freaking out and all that stuff.
Did you like that ninth dimensions of bullshit?
I hate that. No, I hate that.
really disliked that.
Great, perfect.
He didn't put enough mime into it for like it to be anything. Like he didn't like shut. He was just like,
yeah.
And maybe that's his angelness. He can just move things like they're nothing.
No,
but I hated it.
I made a bulleted list of all the things that made me cringe here. Magic 8 Ball, Friends Can't Afford That Apartment, karaoke, impressionist painting.
The Friends thing kept getting the callbacks, and the callbacks were way
Yes.
funnier than the original Friends thing. But,
Right.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
It was literally like when the stand-up comedian does the DMV joke, though. It was like, oh my god, isn't it so funny that this like supreme being does this fucking like everyone has said the thing about the Friends apartment. It's so old and so played out, right?
But that's what made it funny because it's the first time for him.
I guess,
so,
but
like,
I still hate it so
I think
much.
the joke is
Yes.
that it's old and played out for everyone else except for him.
I did not enjoy it.
When
though.
he made that comparison, let's sit down like friends, like Ross and Phoebe would. And she's like, that's a weird pull, but I'm like, those
That's
are
a
the ones
weird
that would
So-
accurately depict you two.
A lot of other stuff made a lot of sense. And when he says, I feel like late in the season when they're out of ideas and they have these people get together for no reason, like that whole thing, I liked all of those, like you're saying, like a lot more than the original.
Yeah, get me my sweatshirt.
He's like, get me my hoodie, and I'm like, what does that mean? Did he say hoodie?
That was a thing from Friends.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I don't even know that like callback, but I was still like, he can't mean a hoodie, and then just him in like the fetal position on the ground.
I think
being
it was
like,
Chandler in the
would
gray
have a
hoodie
hoodie.
laying on the ground just like that.
Okay, that kind of like triggers a bell or whatever. I didn't expect any like visual references to Friends or something. So, yeah.
No, but
So Michael's decided that like he's the problem and that he has to leave. It's crazy. Ted Danson's face is on the.
I
fucking
wonder what
show.
happens though if he does leave, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's clearly not going to leave.
He better not
But
leave.
if the guy did leave, is he watching over it like a man looking at an ant farm? Like,
I don't
what
know.
keeps it running smoothly? Is it just Janet?
So we don't know. I think next episode we're going to get a little more information about what him leaving would mean, and that's going to trigger a like minor crisis where Chidi and Eleanor have to figure out how to convince him not to leave or whatever, because that'll be bad for something else or whatever, right? I don't know, because like it isn't like he gets replaced with someone else, because that was my first thought. But then he elaborates like,
Yeah.
I figured I'd just hang out for the first 1,000 years. Usually no one is here, and I'm like, oh shit, wait. So Janet must be, Eleanor must be like, oh, if he leaves, that's great. I'll just have everything great. So something has to come up to be like, that would not be great, and here's why, or something like that,
Yeah.
right? So
Well, and she
yeah.
feels guilty. She likes him. She's become
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
person. She just wants him there in general.
Yeah. I suspect he might say, I have to go, I have to leave, and I'll probably be fired, and like, oh god, has he become a human? No, that they can't do that. Yeah,
No.
He'll probably like some
They'll
Bill and
take his
Ted
paper
thing.
clips.
Yeah, well, he'll probably be sad about how much he enjoyed it here. He just got a taste of the more interesting parts of being a human, right? Maybe she'll feel sympathy, or maybe he'll say, "I'm in for it up there. They're gonna really do something. They may banish me for 1,000,000 years, or some like weird thing."
Yeah.
And then she'll go like, "Oh, we can't. No, Chidi, what do we do?" And then it'll be this like thing.
Best line of the episode for me
Nice.
was, so what's with all the frozen yogurt? And he goes, oh, it's a very human thing to take something good and make it slightly worse.
I loved it so
and
much.
I was like, that's frozen yogurt. Yeah.
He's like, there's something so human about taking something great, ruining it just a little, so you can have more of it, or whatever. I was
Yeah.
like, ah! And I had the same reaction. I actually wrote that down, but I put my notes away already. Because I had the same reaction as you and Eleanor did, which is like that's like the perfect example of it. We
Yeah.
can make these potato chips worse, so you can eat the whole bag if you want, right?
Uh-huh.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole
That's
essence of
the old kit
humanity,
and caboodle.
right? You should just take a little of the perfect thing, but you really just want to get stuffed like a giant horrible thing.
I know I do.
I know I want to get stuffed.
Yeah.
All right.
Does anything else happen in this episode? I think that's everything.
No, but I'm super excited. Like more as we find out more and more, and as the brisk pace goes on, like I'm really more and more excited about like how this world fits together. Where does Michael fit in? It seems like we're learning more about how even things that we're told this is how it works. This is not even usually how it works, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of throwing all these monkey wrenches into
That's
it.
fun.
So it's opening up a lot more possibilities as to what's going on or what's really going on, or right? Are the people who aren't supposed to be there as part of something else? Is it like due to Michael's inexperience or his micromanagement that like things are the way they are?
Yeah.
Is it just a
Because what are the
coincidence?
odds are two mistakes in the same place, you know?
And this coincidental thing where it's like an amateur world builder who's doing this hands-on approach that's not standard, and there's these mistakes, right? And everyone's learning so many lessons too that I'm wondering if could be intentional in some way, but I'm not sure. There's no other character that could be orchestrating that, so I'm very confused and like
Janet.
interested. Janet, I knew it all along.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
so,
guys.
Yeah.
That's our thoughts on this episode. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. if you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.